Hello, welcome to the range. Lovely spring morning. The birds are singing and it's a little bit chilly. Today I have finally got round to testing, or I'm going to test, these very interesting 3D printed minié. So these are heresy itself, I must admit, but I saw them online and thought I could give them a try. Now the rationale behind these is that they are in theory reusable if you use a soft backstop, which I have, and yeah, you can just use them for short range plinking. Also could be a valuable tool if you're introducing someone to black powder, because you'd use a very reduced charge, it's at short range, and you just get people used to the idea and they get a bit of a feeling for it. So the seller recommends a maximum of 10 grains of powder behind these. Doesn't specify what range, so that's going to be a bit of interesting to find out. I'm going to use these firstly in the pistol, and then I've got a short barrel carbine just to see how it goes. I don't quite trust putting these things all the way down a musket barrel yet, because it's going to be an awfully long way to dig them out if they disintegrate or melt or something. Apparently these are PLA. I doubt they'll melt as such, but who knows what kind of crazy blockage they could create. So I'll keep the barrel short, that I can sort of relatively easily get down there if anything goes wrong. So I'm going to start really not at 25, maybe at 10-15 meters to see how it goes. 10 grains of powder, Swiss F1, and we'll see if I can get on target and also if they survive the target. All right, 10 grains of the finest Swiss F1, one 1822 T-bis horsepittle, and we're about 10 meters. This is really a cat sneeze load, but who knows with these things. Also, who knows where this will hit. These are basically rated for a minute of horse at 5 meters, so there's no great expectations, but it's just to get the feeling. It is rifled, but very, very shallow rifling. Okay, well that just hit the wood underneath, you can hear the tock, so maybe I should aim a little higher. Alright, now we'll just try and aim for the middle and see. Okay, I've only got 20 of these, so I've moved forward to about 10 meters, or even a bit less. I've got one up on the at about 1 o'clock, just in the 3 ring, so not great. Unfortunately, these are also black and they get lost here in the grass and the earth, so maybe a product upgrade would be making them pink or neon something. So let's have another go. It's great fun. The seller makes no claim to accuracy, by the way. This is just something to have fun with. But it'd be nice if they get on target. Okay, so I up the load to a mighty 20 grains, and that's one shot on target, 9 o'clock. Let's try and do that again. Okay, so that's also on target, 12 o'clock in the 1 ring, so way above the other shot. I don't think I'm going to move back from these 10 meters. I think that will be very, very wishful thinking. Fire in a couple of shots and then we'll see what it does in the slightly longer barrel of the musketoon. Well, they're all on the target, making horrible raggedy holes in the target, but it's certainly fun to shoot. Alright, here's the damage after a few shots. So it started off sort of skirting around the top, and that one, and these last two here when I was aiming right down here at the bottom. So that's quite interesting. Raggedy holes, so I'm not convinced that the bullets are going straight, and you can see a good couple of impacts there. That doesn't look like it came in at an angle there. That one looks all right. There's one, and this is just plywood, so no problem. That one's actually gone in and got stuck, and it looks pretty good. Let's see, can I make out? Yes, actually, I'm surprised. You can just tell just the sort of alternation between the shininess on the outside. It is at least slightly gripping the rifling, which is interesting. I didn't think it would. Certainly reusable, so that's a bonus. I think the others are in there. Look, yeah, that's survived better than I thought. Cavity's fine as well. So we'll see what a slightly longer barrel can do. Alright, here we go, 1822 T-bis, also rifled. Because I'm an optimist, I have moved back to my 15 meters, and we'll see what happens. Then my target fell down. Oh, that didn't hit. I guess it's back to 10 meters. All right, now we're on. Actually, it shoots quite near to sights. That one was a little bit high, but all three holes have been, oh, look pretty round. So I think these ones are actually stabilizing. So I may be even daring and go back to 15 now that I know where it's hitting. All right, we can do this. Hey, that was in the black. Woo. Okay, that one in the black seems to have been a lucky shot, since I can't put them anywhere on the target anymore. So let's go and have a quick look. All right, so 1, 2, 3, that was at 10 meters, and then there was my lucky shot there at 25, 15, 25 I wish. So you can see now there the holes are definitely circular. There's a bit of tear from the paper, of course, but they're going in straight at least, which is more than we could say from the pistol. And maybe you can probably see a bit clearer here. There's definitely some engraving going on, which is good, but doesn't seem to be doing anything for accuracy. So here we are back in the workshop. These two are now cleaned up. Not much cleaning to do considering the low powder charge. Quick blast of the steam lance for both, and it was a quick job. I salvaged the bullets that were in my backstop, and the rest are lost to the wilderness. Are they worth it? I think it really depends on what you want to do with them. I think if you're wanting to do some sort of indoor or short range cheap target training, they're absolutely useless. I think if you want to do that, you're probably better off getting some polymer balls. Pedersoli in fact have a specific training set for that. It's more for the single shot per custom pistol, so there's like a 36, 44, 45 caliber with a nipple adapter that takes shotgun primers. I think that's probably more of a value add. These, I don't think they're any good, and they're not going to certainly not going to be very accurate unless you up the load, and then it's questionable whether you continue using these and how much pressure they will actually take before they disintegrate. So yeah, in terms of target practice, not really. As I mentioned when I was shooting, maybe for novices or sort of open days or something, when you want to introduce people to the concept of muzzle loading, that would be quite fun. You still need to load these as you would back in the day. Okay, they're too big to use a cartridge, unfortunately, but you still need to ram them down the barrel. You go through the motions. The other thing is maybe you have a couple of these muzzle loaders. You don't want to get into black powder, but you want to say, okay, I've shot it once or twice. I know what it feels like. Then these are great. The powder charge in it is so small that it's not going to do any damage to the firearm. Obviously, if they're in good condition. And so, yeah, that could be just grab a handful of these, give it a shot, and then clean them up and put them on the wall and say, I've done it. So there we go. One thing I forgot to mention when I was showing these actually got a slightly tapered rear end of the skirt, so that they center nicely in the muzzle, and it makes them very easy to load. Loading was easy throughout the series. The fouling is so small, it doesn't have any influence on loading. There's a couple of there's a bit of variation on the tolerances, so some go down easier than others. The skirt dimensions also on the back are not always the same, so there's a couple of manufacturing quality issues there, but I don't think it makes any difference as to the accuracy on target. I have noticed that there are some new designs now, so they've moved away from the traditional profile, and now they've got sort of woodcuttery type things. They're slightly longer, more of a cylindrical profile, still with a rounded nose. So maybe there's been some feedback and they've tweaked it. So maybe I should get a brace of those and see if they perform a little better. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this little trial and error. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time back here or out on the range. Bye.